Go ahead, John.
Greg, start the second half, you guys weren't doing well on offense. I'm just curious, do you think it affected your defense? Because Green Bay got some shots and got that little run going, especially with Meyer. I'm just curious if you thought the inability to score kind of.
Yeah, I thought, credit to Green Bay, but I thought both halves. We never, other than one little stretch in the first half, I didn't think we were in sync. I thought we looked, like I said, a little out of sorts, and that happens when you don't make shots, and this group's got to learn to not let that affect them emotionally or mentally and let it leak to other parts of their game. So it's a good credit to Green Bay for playing hard and knocking shots down when they needed to and calling their way back into it.
Abby,
Greg, you guys had 14 turnovers, many of which were uncharacteristic for you guys, and 8 of which came from your veterans, Wall, Crowell, and Hepburn. Did you think they were just playing frazzled, or what was the reasoning for as many mistakes as they were making?
I'll have to watch I'll look through the film and dissect them. It's trying to drive through. I know Tyler, one of them was driving through a gap that should have not tried to drive through. I think sometimes when things aren't going the way you want them to, or you expect them to, that you start to force a little bit too, and try to maybe make plays that aren't there normally. So, but I'll look through the film and be able to get a better idea of if it was an individual decision or if it was spacing on the floor. Is it? I don't want to jump to any conclusions without watching film first, Abby.
Right up front, Coach, that game was tightening up there in the second half, and I think you had Chucky on the bench for about 6 minutes. Was there a certain message you were trying to get across? And then the second part, he seemed to struggle finishing at the rim this season, even going back to the exhibition against Eau Claire. I know you can't yell at a guy to make layups, but I mean, is there something you're seeing out of him that's stopping him from making those?
Yeah, I think he's got to play off 2 feet a little bit better, explode to the rim. We talk about high jumping, not long jumping. So I think some of that's technique at the rim, taking the contact, and when guys are struggling, try to get yourself to the free throw line so you can see the ball go in. But I did that. We weren't. He got some fouls. He finished with 3. At one point he had 3 fouls, and I didn't want to be his 4th before we came down the stretch. So give some other guys some opportunities. Thought Max did some good things when he was there at the point. I thought Isaac Lindsey did some decent things too, other than a couple fouls. So we're going to continue to, when guys are struggling, other guys got to pick them up. So like I said, it wasn't Chucky's night tonight, but other guys were able to step in and help him out.
Chris,
Coach, you're talking about the guys stepping up with Chucky and Tyler having an off night. I know it's early in the season, but what have you seen from that depth this year? How far along are those guys, and how confident are you that depth can serve you going forward?
Well, I think it's going to serve us going forward because they have to continue to explore with it, different combinations. We played a little bigger tonight with Tyler at the 3 for a while. That's something I've been looking at. And again, it comes down to, we had Tyler getting foul trouble, Chucky struggling, along with a few others. So we keep looking for combinations, trying to get a spark going. So unfortunately, that group of Crowell, Gilmore, Jordan Davis, I think Max, and Isaac Lindsey were on the floor at the time. We got a little separation there. So we'll take it from whoever can provide it, and it's our job to continue to find it. If we're struggling in some areas, other guys got to step in and pick each other up.
Abby in the back.
You mentioned Max as one of the players that really kind of stepped up and off of Tyler and Chucky's off night. Who else did you really see stand out and take a step?
I thought Carter Gilmore did some good things. I thought he, the dig in the gap he got late, the forced a turnover. He knocked down the 3 in the first half. And he's just solid. He's not gonna. There's never gonna be probably anything that's gonna jump off the stat sheet. It's 2 for 4 with 5 rebounds. Just a solid 20 minutes and playing probably more than he has just because of Tyler's foul trouble and playing a little smaller too at times with their lineup. We could play 1 bigger guy and 4 perimeters. So I thought he did some good things. I mentioned Isaac Lindsey. and Max, you know, Jordan Davis, I thought did some good things too. Obviously knocked down some shots, gave us a little boost there when needed, knocked down 2 big free throws. So, like I said, we're just continuing to find guys that are ready to step up in those moments.
One final question for Coach. Go ahead, Jeff.
Greg, I don't know if you have to look at the tape for this one, but do you think early in the game Chucky was sped up and that led to some missed shots and then kind of forced things after that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have to look at the tape, see if he got sped up at all, but sometimes I've always encouraged guys to keep it simple in terms of the shot selection. If you're struggling, as I mentioned, get yourself to the free throw line, see the ball go in, get into a rhythm that way. I thought for the most part, you know, he didn't finish at the rim, and that's a technique thing. I saw most of them in the first half, when at halftime we were able to watch whatever we select on film, but it's just some simple things, you know, playing at the rim, playing through contact, playing off 2 feet, using the left hand on the left side, finishing at the rim instead of jumping out of bounds, you know, some of those things that we'll continue to help him with and show him on film, and then continue to drill it and try to ingrain it within everybody, because we have to finish better in the paint. We're 4 for 20 in the first half and 4 for 10, so that's 8 for 30 in the paint, and obviously that's something we've been focused on, and knowing that this group has got to find a way to finish better in the paint, and we'll keep working at it. Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.